What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying your lives to the fullest today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Volvo C40 Recharge Twin All-Wheel Drive Plus. Huge thank you to Mike C over at Don Beyer Volvo Cars of Dulles, Virginia for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular C40 or any Volvo product, I'll be sure to have Mike's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, first let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2023 Volvo C40 Recharge Twin All-Wheel Drive Plus. Man, that name is a mouthful, but this particular one has been painted in the cool $695 sage green. I saw this on the lot and I was like, that is a really cool color. I want to do a video with that car, and they let me take it, obviously. So let's start over here at our headlights. So with the Plus, you guys do get LED headlights with automatic high beams. You also get Thor's Hammer LED daytime running lights, as well as LED turn signals and LED fog lights towards the bottom of your front bumper. Now, working our way to the center of the front end, as you may know, if you're watching this video, I would hope that you would know that the C40 is an electric vehicle only. There is no gas counterpart to the C40. So with that in mind, you guys do get a body color grille panel. The grille is totally cut off. There's no real air circulation besides down under here, because again, all of this is just a solid panel piece with your Volvo logo located at the center of that panel. And then towards the bottom of your Volvo logo is where you'll find your forward-facing camera. That forward-facing camera works with the 360-degree view camera system that comes standard with the Plus. I already pointed out that little opening with that like black trim piece. I pointed out the opening. I didn't point out the gloss black trim piece that accents the sage green. And then coming back just a little bit, you may be like, well, if it's an electric vehicle, what's under the hood? So I will show you guys that now, and you're gonna pop the hood to your front trunk just like you would pop the hood in any other vehicle. So just pull up on that. And then you got to pop a little one thing here on the driver's side, and then the front trunk area will pop open. So the only other thing up here really is the windshield washer fluid reservoir. And then opening up your front trunk, there's really not that much storage space in here. As you may be able to tell, you can store your charging cable under there, but really other than that, you got your tire inflator kit, because this does not come with a spare tire. But really, there's really not that much storage space under there, unless you put your charging cable in there like what is in there here today. Closing that back up, we'll work our way down. You guys do get a satin black lower grille. You also get 6 forward-facing sensors on the front end as standard with the Plus, as well as you get those gloss black lower outer grills. One on that side, and obviously one over here on the driver's side. And if you guys were wondering about the ground clearance, you guys get 7 inches of ground clearance with the C40. Now, working our way down the side, you guys get these satin black wheel arch moldings, as well as these are the standard wheels that come with the Plus, and they are a 19-inch double spoke black diamond cut wheel, and they are wrapped in a 235/50 up front and a 255/45 Continental Pro Contact RX tire. And that is a look at your tire, your tread pattern right there. So yeah, you get the bigger tires in the back, you get the smaller tires in the front, because this thing really just squats and it hooks and books when you put your pedal to the metal. So that's why there is a thicker tire in the back. So this is not a square stance vehicle. But working our way into the side view mirrors, you guys do get gloss black mirror caps with integrated LED turn signals. These side view mirrors are heated, power folding, auto dimming. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror, and then over there on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror. And then on the bottom of both of your door mirrors, you have a little camera, and that camera again works with your 360-degree view camera system. That again comes standard on the Plus. Now let's do a little side profile action. So you may be asking, there's the XC40, there's the C40. What's the difference between the two? I know that the XC40 has a gas counterpart and an electric counterpart, but basically what makes the C40, besides it being totally electric and there's no gas counterpart, is this sloping roof design. But we'll get to that here in a minute, because you guys do get gloss black wood under trim. You get body color door handles with keyless access and illumination. So basically there's a little light at the bottom of your door handle, again just to illuminate the door handle at night, to make it a little bit easier to grab onto when you're walking to the vehicle in the pitch black. And then you guys do get some satin black door cladding at the bottom of all your passenger doors. Again, leads nicely into your satin black wheel arch moldings. You guys could, if you wanted to, I think it's like a $200 option, get mud flaps. So basically those mud flaps would go behind all 4 of your wheels and tires. This one is not optioned with that. But coming over to here, opening this up, this does support fast charging, DC fast charging, and that's the charger on top, and then that is the charger on the bottom. So this is your DC, and then this is your level 1 and your level 2 charge port. You guys can see you get a little light back there as well. But that's kind of about it. Closing that back up, you get a gloss black shark fin antenna, as well as a body color roof spoiler. Coming back just a tad, here's a little booty shot of the C40. You also do get a black trunk lid spoiler. And this is a look at the spoiler. Looks pretty cool. That's a little view of it. It does actually stick up quite a bit. You can see air does flow through it. Ignore the messy vehicle. You also do get LED taillights back here, and you also obviously get an LED third brake light. The LED third brake light starts here, goes all the way to about right there. You get chrome badging back here with your recharge twin badging on the lower right hand side of your power lift gate. So like I mentioned, you do get a power lift gate, so all you got to do is find this little pad, find the L, go all the way down, press on that pad, and the power lift gate will open up. You obviously have your rear cargo cover right up top here. Here are your floor mats. That is a look at the floor mats. They are made in Poland, if you were wondering. A little bit of a storage cubby on this side, not quite as much over here on the driver's side. And then underneath there, you got your jack. And then you also have that thing right there. I don't believe you get a spare tire, because you do get a spare, yeah, no spare tire. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know why, unless it's underneath here, which it is not. I don't know why they would give you a jack if you don't have a spare tire. That's kind of interesting to me. That is where you will find your backup camera. So as it closes, again, your backup camera is located about right there. And then coming down just a tad bit more, satin black rear bumper. You get 2 reflectors, and these are also your side marker lights. So there's a light right there. There's a light right there, and then the rest of that is a reflector. You get another 6 backup sensors back here total. And then last but not least, you get a gloss black rear valance back here as well. So basically this whole trim piece down here is all gloss black. Let me know what you guys think of the C40 in the comments down below. Would you guys get the C40? Would you guys get the XC40? I gotta tell you, from personal experience, I was leaving the dealership, and you know, I was probably going about 40 miles an hour, and I punched it because I just wanted to see what it would do. It's electric, instant torque, and it really, like, it threw me back into my seat, and I'm like, I got to give this thing some respect. So with that said, I don't know if you guys have driven one, but these things are super, super peppy. If you've driven one, let me know if you agree with me in the comments down below. But let's move into performance. Well, because there's no hood to pop, let's just jump right into the performance statistics. So you guys do get a 78 kilowatt hour battery pack that works with front and rear electric motors. Those motors are mated to a single speed transmission. Total output is 402 horsepower and 486 pound-feet of torque for a 0 to 60 time in 4.5 seconds. And then you guys get a roughly estimated 226 miles of range, dependent on how you're driving. Let's say you're flooring this thing everywhere, you're not going to get 226 miles of range. But you know, if you're babying it, you're not using the AC all that much, you're not using the heat all that much, then I could see you getting 226 miles of range realistically. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Both of those things really help to make my channel grow. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned to you guys earlier on in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle and put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You guys can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across that little square right now, and now the vehicle is locked. But let's take a look at what the interior in the C40 has to offer. So actually I'll get into that here in a minute, but all of this is like faux leather. You get some satin black trim. This is like, it's called topographical backlit translucent decor. And then you get your aluminum door handle, 2 memory seat adjustment settings. Memory seat adjustment settings come with the plus, unlock and lock functions. This is your power side view mirror controls. If you guys press the L and the R buttons simultaneously, these side view mirrors will fold in. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. And then you also get rear child door locks, as well as this will also restrict your passenger window privileges. And then good amount of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of the door panel. You guys get a brushed aluminum recharge door sill. I'm not sure how well that's going to pick up on camera, but that is a look at that. Then you guys get obviously both power front seats. This is a Volvo after all. You get some suede going down the center of the seat, and then you get that leatherette material basically trimming the outsides of the seat. So that's about it for that. Now I want to get into one of the major gripes that I have with the C40. And this, after I've done studying for this video, I usually get in and out of the vehicle, taking a look at stuff and stuff like that. And this was really bugging me. And I wanted to let you guys know, just to be totally transparent, because that's how I am with my reviews. Every single time that you guys get out of this vehicle, the vehicle turns off. Like, there's no on or off button to this thing. It's just like you step in it, it's on, you step out, it's off. So what I'm gonna do to basically convey what I'm talking about is I'm gonna play some music here. See, I'm playing some music, and then watch what happens when I get out. See, it just turns off. Like, it just turns off. So when you're getting out to go do something, that turns off. So you can't control that. And then when you get back in, it turns back on. But I want to be in control of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Anyway, that is one of my gripes. And that's really about it, because everything else is pretty good on this thing. But that is a major annoyance, at least to me. But anyway, coming down here, that is to open and or close your power lift gate. You guys do get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And what I mean by that is that the steering wheel will go towards you, it'll go away from you, and then it also moves up and down as well. And then you take a look at our turn signal stock. Close that door there real quick. Coming over to here, this is what your turn signal stock looks like. It wants me to put it in drive to basically turn it on. See, that's you know what I'm saying. Take a listen to the turn signal. Turn that off. That is what the turn signal sounds like. This is also your headlight control stock, your fog light control stock, and your high beam control stock. So twisting that all the way down, that is headlights off. Daytime running lights on, headlights always on, headlights in automatic, and then all the way up is to turn your auto high beams on or off. That's on, that is off. That is your front fog lights, and then that is your rear fog light. I wish I could get out and show you guys that, but when I step out, all the lights turn off. So that you know, anyway. This is what your steering wheel looks like. It's like a leatherette wrapped steering wheel. Let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like. And then on the left-hand side of your steering wheel, you have your cruise control settings. You do not get adaptive cruise control with the Plus. You got to step up to the Ultimate in order to get the adaptive cruise control with the Pilot Assist. And then all these controls over here, you see these arrows. That is to volume up. That is to volume down. That is to go back on a track. That is to go forward on a track. But these arrows also do something different when controlling the gauge cluster. So this is the 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster, and you have 2 display modes, both calm and Navi. Right now this is Navi. If I press this button, now that is calm. Press that button again and it brings up Navi. But basically, to control the screen, there's not much you can do besides the calm and the Navi. And then if I press this button right here, that brings you into your trip computer. So you have your trip manual stuff on the left, and then you have your trip automatic stuff on the right. So basically the automatic counts how long or how far I've driven on this trip, how long I've been out for, how much energy has been used, etc. And then this is the manual stuff. So you can reset this side, but the computer does all this by itself. So coming over to reset the manual side, you press and hold on that button. So watch, I press and hold on it, it's gonna reset. So basically, I'm gonna go back into that, and then all those numbers reset back down to 0, and then that's the odometer. This vehicle has 66 miles on it. But yeah, that's kind of about it for that. And then you got your speedometer, digital speedometer readout. That's the speed limit sign. And then over here, when this arrow kind of goes up top here, that's how much power is being used. So it's either going to use like 25% of the power, 50% of the power, or 100% of the power, if that makes sense. That is a pretty cool thing. And then when you're like coming to a stop like regenerative braking. Basically this will come down here, basically letting you know that it is regenerative braking. That's your transmission status stuff. That lets us know that we're ready to go. And then that is how much battery percentage we have left. Ambient exterior temperature, windshield washer automatic stuff, lane keeping stuff. That lets us know that the lights are on. And that's kind of about it for that gauge cluster. Working our way over to here, you get a bunch of vinyl wrapping on the top, but then this is a 9-inch Google-based infotainment system with wired Apple CarPlay connectivity going throughout this screen rather quickly. This is the home screen. That's your time up top there. And then you have these shortcut buttons on the bottom, and then it's also letting you know your range right there. So if you go on that, that will bring you into your back screen, is what I like to call it. And then you can see all the different things on this back screen, all these things, range assistant, etc., phone, all those different things. You get your time up top there, and then this has a 360-degree view camera system as standard. So if you guys want to bring that up, click on that camera button right there, and then that will bring you into this screen. So if you guys want the 360-degree view camera, you just click at the center of the screen. Now that's the 360 cam. And then you can go between your different camera zones. So this is the forward-facing camera. This is the driver side camera. This is the passenger side camera. And then this is the backup camera. And then you can also turn your parking sensors on or off. And then you can turn the reverse automatic braking system on or off as well. One thing that's pretty cool is basically this is your sonar stuff up top here. So when you get closer to something, it'll like turn orange and it'll let you know which zone you are kind of getting close to. One thing that also is pretty cool. So I'm going to try to get close to this thing here and see if the sensors will go off. Okay, well, anyway, the sensors don't want to go off. But basically, if you get close to something, whether it be like back there, let's say, then the beeps will come from back there. If you're getting close to, you're back and close to something and something that's close to you is on this side, then the beeps will come from this side. I think that is really cool, and I haven't really seen that in any other vehicle because normally you'll just get beeps, but it kind of beeps where you're getting close to something, which is something that I find really, really cool. And then if you guys want to bring the climate control stack throughout this entire screen, you just click right here. And then that is what your climate control stack looks like. You guys do get heated front seats as standard with the Plus. So all you got to do to turn those on is click on that little seat looking thing. You get 3 levels of adjustability with your heated seats. And then that is your home button. And then you can go over here into your settings and you can go into your driving settings. So if you go into here, you can turn off-road mode on. One thing that is pretty cool that I like to use usually when I'm driving like an electric vehicle is one pedal drive. I'll get into that on the driving portion of the review, but now it is on. You can also turn it off if you wanted to, and then you can have the steering wheel either be firm or light. So right now it's definitely a lot lighter. I'm going to turn that back on and see if I notice a difference. Maybe a little bit of a difference, but then yeah, that's your home button, and that's kind of about it for that screen. You get your hazard button, front defroster, rear defroster. This is to go back on a track, this is to go forward on a track, this is to volume up, that is to play or pause on a track. And then if you're on like let's say Sirius XM, if you press that, then that will mute the audio. And then this is a dead button over here. Coming down just a little bit more, you get a 12-volt outlet and 2 USB-C ports. Wireless charging pad comes standard with the C40 Plus. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max and it fits down in there, no problem. And that's what that looks like. Opening this up, you got a great spot. You could set the key fob down in here if you wanted to. Very, very nice. You get 2 cup holders. This is your gear shift selector right there. And then coming back just a tad, one thing I really like about the C40s and the XC40s is that you get a removable trash can. So you can, let's say, you know, this is trash right here. Throw that trash in the trash can, and then you can, you know, worry about it later. Let's say the trash can gets full. All you got to do is pull this out, you know, go dump it at your house, and then come bring it back, and boom. Very, very nice. I wish more manufacturers did something like the removable trash can right down in there. And then you get a good amount of storage space in your center console there. You can fit what you need to down in there. Closing that. You do not get a lockable glove box, but you get a good amount of storage space in that glove box. You get a frameless and auto-dimming rear view mirror with your universal garage door opener on the bottom. So if you own a house with 3 different garage bays, you can open up those 3 different garage bays individually with these 3 different buttons. You get your Volvo on-call stuff, which is basically like roadside assistance. That lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. This is your instant dome light button, so all the interior dome lights turn on by the push of that button. And then obviously driver gets a light, passenger gets a light, and you can turn those both on individually. It's kind of like a touchscreen thing. It's pretty cool. And then opening this up, you get a vanity mirror with a vanity light and a little clip right here. You can set money, registration, or any small paper product. These visors do not slide forwards or backwards. They are fixed, which is kind of unfortunate. OPU panel. You get another OPU panel on that side as well. And then you get to this panoramic roof as standard with the C40 Plus. One thing that I find kind of interesting is, for some reason with electric vehicles, they have these pano roofs, but you can't open them and you can't like have a shade that comes and closes, which I don't understand, because the Tesla's the same. I think the Mach-E is the same. And if the sun is beating down on you, you can feel it. Like if it's like a really hot day, even though it's like UV laminated, you can still feel it a little bit. So anyways, it's a nice car. I know I'm giving it a little bit of poop, but it's a really nice car. But I want to be upfront and honest with you guys, and I'm gonna let you guys know I'm not really an EV person. I don't love EVs. I think we need to go to hybrids before we go to EVs, but this is a good EV. It's quick as heck. So I'll show you guys that on the driving portion of the review, because that's really where this thing shines. This thing's very fun to drive. But a couple things I wanted to let you guys know that comes standard with this thing. You get the wireless charging pad, you get the pano roof, you get the power front seats with the driver's seat memory, you get the topographical backlit translucent decor, you get heated front seats, 360-degree view camera system, front and rear parking sensors, and then also interior high-level illumination. If you guys were wanting adaptive cruise control, you are going to have to step up to the Ultimate in order to get that. Now I'm going to throw some safety and security stuff on screen for you guys to take a look at, and basically I'm going to read along with you. So you guys do get blind spot information with steer assist and cross traffic alert with auto brake. You get collision avoidance featuring low and high speed collision mitigation that detects vehicles, pedestrians, cyclists, and large animals. Driver alert control, run off road protection and run off road mitigation, lane departure warning, and lane keeping aid. Oncoming mitigation by braking. You get front, side, and curtain airbags with a driver's side knee airbag, as well as a whiplash protection system in the front seats, also known as whips. And you get automatic unlocking after a collision, road sign information, and an occupant sensor with a seatbelt reminder. So that is basically what that is right there. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen for you guys to take a look at, everything that comes standard, the range, and all the options. This only has one option. But basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of this particular 2023 Volvo C40 Recharge Twin All-Wheel Drive Plus is $58,640. Let me know what you guys think of that price in the comments down below. That's another thing with the EVs, is they are relatively pricey. You know, it's just the way that they are. It's a new technology, and they're definitely priced as a new technology. But working our way into these rear seats, this is what your rear door panel looks like. Automatic up and down windows back here. You get a spot you could lock the vehicle from right there. Get your aluminum door handle and a little bit of miscellaneous storage space. This is what your second row seats look like. Stepping in, you'd be surprised at how much leg room I have. You get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. This is also nicely padded. Coming in, you may be able to tell, I still have quite a bit of headroom. I am 5'9". I would say I probably have 3 or 4 inches of headroom left. So let's say you're like 6'3". I don't know how well you'd fit back here because of that sloping roof design. So you might have to get the XC40 because that's more of like a squarular back rather than the sloped roof. So yeah, if you're tall and you have like tall people sitting in the back, might want to look at the XC40. But if you're like me, 5'9", I got plenty of headroom left over. I have plenty of knee room as well, plenty of leg room. Surprisingly, how much room I have back here, honestly. You get 2 HVAC vents, then opening this up down here, you get 2 more USB-C ports. I don't know if I pointed this out, but I'm going to point it out again if I haven't. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. You get a dome light up top here and another one right there. Then you get a spot you could set your dry cleaning and another one right there. You know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the C40. So I want to see what this thing is like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now on to the driving portion of the review, where I always start my videos here when I'm in this area. Right now I'm driving with 1 pedal driving on. We're going to go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and then I'm going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Nothing will ever be a 10 because perfection doesn't exist in this world. Let's see how it does over the second one. I'm gonna give this thing an 8.3. It did very, very well over those speed bumps. Now, one thing I always like to do whenever I'm driving an electric vehicle is I like to use the one pedal driving system. It makes the driving fun, and honestly, if you're lazy, it makes it nice and easy to drive because you don't have to worry about hitting the brake pedal, hitting the gas pedal, hitting the brake pedal, and so on and so forth. Literally, all you got to do is drive with the accelerator. So it definitely makes the driving experience that much easier. And it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to drive in the one pedal driving. So basically, one pedal driving is all you got to do is drive with the accelerator. So the more you accelerate, the more it accelerates. But then, like, if you want to maintain speed, you basically have to maintain your foot at a certain point in the accelerator to maintain that speed, because once you let off of the accelerator, you're going to start slowing down. So you know how, like, in a normal vehicle, you'd let off the accelerator and you just coast? Well, let's see what happens. So I'm going about 40, just maintaining speed, right? Now watch what happens when I let off of the accelerator, right? I'm gonna do that in 3, 2, 1. See how we're starting to slow down? Basically, it's like I'm hitting the brakes, right? That is what one pedal driving is. So basically, you're literally just having to drive with your right pedal. This thing is so fast. I mean, it is so quick. Like, sometimes, like, you'll just be driving, right, and you want to pass somebody, hit it, and the power is just instant. I mean, it is instant power, and it feels like almost 500 pound-feet of torque. I mean, it feels like that. And it's just, it's a lot of fun to drive, and that's why, like, I know I was giving this thing a little bit of flack, you know, for getting in and out and it turning itself off. My other thing is, like, when you drive this thing, you're like, okay, well, this thing's actually really, really good. And it is really good. Like, when you drive it, you're like, this would be a great daily driver. And I think this thing looks a lot better than the C40. I just like the sloping roof design. It just looks more sporty. It looks like, I don't know, it looks better in my opinion. Like, the other one just looks kind of like not as good. It kind of looks like that Kia Soul. But this looks a lot better. And it's a lot of fun to drive. And like I mentioned to you guys on the interior part of the video, I'm not really much of an EV person, but if you make a good EV, like, this is a good EV. And honestly, like, I could totally daily drive one of these because it's comfortable. You know, the sound system's good, and this one doesn't even have the Harman Kardon. It's just easy to drive. It's quick. It's very well insulated from the outside world. So with that said, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes, or not a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to hear what it sounds like here at 40 miles an hour. This guy is going insanely slow. That's why everybody's trying to pass him. See, this is what I don't like. Sometimes when I'm driving, I'm like, I get behind somebody, I bet you this person is on their phone. This thing is just so quick, and you can pass somebody like nothing here. And now I'm just coming to a slow stop with the one pedal driving. I'm literally just, you know, slowly letting my foot out of the accelerator, and we're slowly coming to a stop. So again, I'm not hitting the brakes, but we're coming to a stop. Now I gotta hit let off a little bit more because that car got in front of me. So the one pedal driving is very, very nice, and it's very, very easy to use. And honestly, like, if you guys, you know, you're coming from a gas powered vehicle, you've never experienced the one pedal driving system before, I think, you know, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I know that it's going to take a little bit of getting used to for some of you guys, but once you get used to it, you'll be like, that is really, really nice. And I don't think you'll ever want to drive a vehicle without the one pedal driving again, honestly, after you drive one, because it definitely makes the driving experience easier. And I know driving really isn't that difficult to do. Heck, I love driving, but it takes some effort out of driving with the one pedal driving system. But moving on from the one pedal driving system, the sound system sounds really good. Like, I've tested the sound system out, and it definitely sounds really good. I'll do a little acceleration here. I'm telling you guys, this thing gets up to the speed limit so quickly. If you guys have never driven an EV and you're watching this video and you're like, do I want an electric vehicle? Do I want the C40? I think you should really go out and test drive one, especially if you guys like to zip around in traffic, because this thing will zip you around in traffic. Let me tell you, I mean, it just, the low end torque is instantaneous. And then even, you know, from like 40 to 60, I feel like it still continues to pull after 60 miles an hour. I don't think I've driven one of these like past like maybe 70 at the absolute max. I would like to do like a test, like a 0 to 100, and see like if it falls on its face after like 70. But I can tell you from just doing like 0 to 60s, these things are very, very quick. Oh, nice. We might be able to do a 0 to 60 test here once this light turns green. And we're going uphill. So I think I'm going to do a 0 to 60 so you guys can see what the acceleration is like going up a hill with the C40. I think you guys will be like, that is insanely quick. And I know sometimes it doesn't convey over camera, but here we go. Very quick. Like the low end 0 to 30, you almost have to use your abs so you can like stay up. But you know, it definitely does continually get slower as you get up in speed, and that's just something that you find kind of with electric vehicles, like with a single speed transmission. And that's kind of where like the Porsche Taycan, you know, it does well at low speeds, but it also does well at higher speeds, because I think it's got like a 2-speed transmission. So it's got the low end, but then it also switches the gear, and then it got the high end as well. So you know, that doesn't really matter if you're just going to be using this as a daily and you don't want to spend more than like 60K on a car. But again, not hitting the brakes, just letting off of the accelerator. We slow down, and we're going into this turn. I'll do a little, you know, 40% acceleration here, so you guys can see. I mean, it's really, really quick at those low speeds. From like 0 to 60, you know, you're gonna have a hard time with the rest of traffic trying to have somebody else beat you in a 0 to 60, you know, unless like a Trackhawk pulls up next to you or something like that. But other than that, like a Tesla, yeah, you're probably gonna be right on par with like a Model 3 or something. But like a gas-powered vehicle like a Camaro or a Mustang pulls up on you, you're definitely going to be able to beat them in a 0 to 60 test. So also it's just a great riding vehicle. I'll hit that bump on purpose, and it soaks up those bumps so well. And that's something that I've always noticed and said about Volvo products, is that they go over bumps very, very well. They soak up bumps very well, and they're not like too jarring, which is always nice. But overall, this is a great driving vehicle. This would make for a great daily driver for somebody who lives in the city or lives close to the city. Like if your commute is an hour to work, an hour from work, this is a good car for you. But if you know you live maybe 2 hours from work, 2 hours home, that's when you're starting to push it. Unless you can park this thing and charge this at work, then that would make sense. But if you can't charge it at work, you know, then you might get a little bit of range anxiety. You might make it, but you know, you're starting to push it at that point, especially if you're using, you know, the lights, you're using the radio, it's cold outside, you have the air conditioner on, you have the heat on. That's all the kind of stuff that really soaks up the battery, and it'll burn through the battery relatively quickly that way. But I mean, again, this would make for a great daily driver if you don't have to commute all that far. But even if you know, have like a 45-minute commute, an hour commute, you'd be totally fine, even if you're not charging it at work. So overall, this is a great little vehicle. Sound system is great. I think even with all those cons that I mentioned earlier on in the video, I think the pros still outweigh the cons here with the C40. So if you guys are interested in this particular C40, I'll be sure to have Mike's information in the description box down below. But before we end out today's video, I do want to do a 0 to 60 test, so let's skip into that now. All right, coming up on our 0 to 60 test spot, all we got to do is line up on our line, and then I'm just going to gun it in 3, 2, 1, floored. Oh man, this thing is so quick. It is so quick, especially like the 0 to 40. I know I said 0 to 30 earlier, but that was on the uphill. The 0 to 40 is very impressive, considering this thing isn't marketed really as like a sporty electric vehicle, but it is so quick. I mean, it really is so quick. Like that 0 to 40 acceleration it's so quick. And I know people are like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Well, yeah, here it is. Watch. It is so fun. I could, like, if I had one of these, I would floor this thing around everywhere. because it doesn't make any noise. So you're not really annoying anybody. You're just having fun, and that's what's kind of nice about this. Is like I love my V8s, I love my V6s, I love the V12s, I love the V10s, but those things are loud, you know. And you know, if you're trying to rip it around like a neighborhood, not a neighborhood, but if you're trying to rip it around next to a neighborhood, and you know, you're like on a straightaway or something, you know, those people aren't going to appreciate it all that much. But if you're not really making any noise, the only noise you're making is some wind noise from your car driving by, then nobody's really going to give you any flack, I don't think, anyway. So overall, this is a really, really fun vehicle to drive. If you guys are interested in this particular one, I'll be sure to have Mike's information in the description box down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said earlier on in the video, I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your guys' help. So please, if you would, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.